Welcome everyone to Shizuoka for our second leg of the quarterfinals of the J-League Cup as we verse S-Pulse. But before we get into that, we of course need to catch up on that first leg at home and the game prior to that, where we versed Tokyo FC in the league. So without further ado, let's hop into Football Manager 21 and catch up on those games. A team in contention for AFC Champions League qualification, FC Tokyo pushed us right to the depth in this one. An 82nd minute goal through a penalty from Komai was the only difference between the two sides. Now, we were the better team, but as you'll see from the match statistics, they put up quite the fight defensively. So, 17 shots to their 6, 6 on target to their 4, a 1.91 XG to a 0.57, 7 corners to their 6, 6 fouls to their 9, 0 yellow cards apiece, 92% passing to their 90, both sides of course very good at passing in this one, 53% possession to their 47. Now, we did have a couple of disappointing performers. Nakagawa got a 6.5, so did Sonkrazin, so did Kawasaki, and Nakashima only got a 6.6. Also Havania with a 6.5 himself. So, a few players were letting the side down. They did put up a brave defensive performance, even when we were pushing, attacking, but in the end we got the decisive victory, and then we headed on into the first leg of our J-League quarterfinals as we welcomed S-Pulse for that first game. So, without further ado, let's head on over to that second game and see how we got on. In what was a rather dominating performance from ourselves, S-Pulse actually managed to make this game rather close. As you can see, we got the opening goal quite early on, but they got a quick breakaway and Thiago Santana had a beautiful drilled effort into the upper left hand side to make it 1-1. Suga then pulls it back to Fujita, plays it across to Applecamp, it drops to Kawasaki, who then drills in a second 2-1. We then won a penalty, Komai putting it away, 3-1 bottom left hand corner, but Thiago Santana was not finished yet. No, he darts past Kim Min-tae, slots it past Obi, and the game finishes 3-2. But like I said, it was a pretty one-sided game if you look at the match statistics. 18 shots to their 3, 9 on target to their 2, a 3.24 XG to a 0.35, 10 corners to their 0, 10 fouls to their 7, 1 yellow card to their 0, 90% passing to their 81, and 66% possession to 34. Basically, Thiago Santana had a great game and just kept them in this tie. So, we come into today's game, heading away with a 1-goal advantage. Can we hold onto it? Well, it's time to head into the dressing room and find out. Okay everyone, we've made it to the dressing room. It is a breezy 23 degrees here today for our game. And well, it's 11,455 tickets have been sold out of the 20,299 capacity. Perfect pitch condition. We are suggested to go from a positive to a caution mentality. I don't think that's the right idea, so we're not going to go for it. The opposition instructions we shall do as well though. In terms of this expected tactics, we're going to ignore it because quite frankly we all know it's always going to say 4-4-2 and it never seems to be. So our team for today is Obi in goal, a backline of Suga, Havania, Inukai and Komai. Central midfield will be controlled by Fujita and the Applecamp. On the left hand side is Lucas, on the right is Nakagawa, Lopez sitting behind Nakashima. The bench consists of Nakano, Yanagi, Kim Min-tae, Kawasaki, Fujimoto, Miyazawa and Kishimoto. So, without further ado, let's submit the team. Tactically, everyone is happy. That is nice to see. The only change is Nakashima for Sonkrazin. Sonkrazin is a little bit tired, so we're going to let him put his feet up. I believe he's been on international duty between our last game and this one, so he had some reason to be a little bit tired. It's okay. We can't be too harsh on him. We've been on good run of form lately. Go out there and impress me. In fact, don't impress me, no. Impress you fine ladies and gents watching this video. It's enough impressing me, but no, they need to impress you. As we can see, they're not going for a 4-4-2, they're going for a 4-2-2-1-1. Trying to route one it, I guess, to Santana again, who we all know is a rather deadly threat, considering he got both of their goals in the previous leg. Lopez, though, to whip in a corner here on the 20th minute. He's gone near post. Unfortunately, the header grazes the bar, and Nakagawa does not have an opening goal just yet. He's still got the opportunity to get the opening goal, but he's not going to get it on the 20th minute. We are here now in the 32nd and progressing. Are we going to get another highlight in this half? It looks like we might go the rest of the half without getting a highlight, which would be interesting. We have indeed cruised to half time without another highlight in a game where we have been the dominant side. It looks like we must have been rather wasteful, though, considering the lack of highlights. We've had 12 shots to their 2, 5 on target out of those 12 to their 1. A 0.69, let your inner 12-year-old have a laugh at that one, compared to their 0.16. 7 corners to their 2, 6 fouls to their 4. 3 yellow cards, 89% passing to their 81, 66% possession to 34. We have yellow cards for Fujita, Suga, and Apple Camp. So we do need to keep an eye on those 3 players. Hopefully none of them are suspended based off that yellow card. I haven't really paid much attention to who would be. Well done, you're still ahead on aggregate, but lads, we don't want to be relying on that 1 goal lead. We would like to pick up a victory in this game to guarantee it. So lads, come on. We've had 13 shots. We're coming up to substitution time. This is the moment. We are going to take some players off. We're going to see who is being rather disappointing. So, disappointing is Nakagawa, and he's a 6.5, but also he's a little bit tired. So, we are going to get him off. This is a little worrying. These 4 all on yellow cards. So, Nakagawa, first of all, is going to be one we fix. Kishimoto can come out there. I think what we'll do is we'll go Miyazawa can come in here. And I guess we go Kim Min-tai back here. Actually, no. Fujimoto instead of Miyazawa. Fujimoto. So we'll risk Fujita and Suga. Hopefully those 2 can avoid getting sent off. Fingers crossed, because we know how difficult it can be holding on with 10 men. Yes, we know we can do it, but we don't want to have to do it. So let's try and push forward, try and get a goal. As you can see, their front 2 are struggling as well. So we should be okay. We should be. But it would be nice to get a goal and just guarantee it. We've had 20 shots now, 7 on target. And apologies for the lack of highlights, because it seems like we had a pretty boring game here today. Obi with a 7.2 in goal. We didn't play bad. As you can see, we didn't really play bad. We just didn't finish. So we had Lucas having a disappointing game on a 6.6. We had Nakagawa with a 6.5, who was disappointing, both our wingers. But our striker got a decent score with a 6.7 on his rating in Nakashima. And yeah, bit of a weird one. We had 20 shots to their 5, 7 on target to their 4, a 1.2 XG to a 0.35, 13 corners to their 4, 12 fouls to their 6, 5 yellow cards to 3, 89% passing to 80, 67% possession to 33, and Lopez was our best performer with a 7.3, but in the end we couldn't break them down, nor could they break us down. I'm kinda happy. I'm going to tell them I'm happy, but I'm probably telling them I'm more happy than I actually am. We should be winning. We're versing S-Pulse, a team which I believe is probably lower end of the table if I remember rightly. We'll have a little look, in fact. Where are you? 15th in the league. We should definitely be picking up a victory against them. That is a little worrying, especially when we come up against some bigger sides. In terms of this guy is Uruguayan. He's a bit old. If he was young, I wouldn't mind scouting him a little bit further. We're going to scout anyone who's Japanese regardless of age, but if they're a foreign national, I'm probably going to only scout them if they're 23 or if they're just a really good player. So I'm going to try and get more people in who are Japanese, develop our Japanese prospects for the future. As you can see, we've got Yokohama F Marinos coming up and Beijing Hihong. What I'm going to do in the next episode is we're going to play both of those games. But before we conclude this one, we do have a cup draw. So I'll meet you back here for the semi-final draw of the J-League Cup in just a second. Okay everyone, it is time to draw the semi-finals of the YBC Levain Cup, and the teams going into the hat for today's draw are Shimizu Osaka or F Marinos, we have Kawasaki Frontale or Kashima Antlers, we of course have ourselves, and we have Red Diamonds or Gamba Osaka. Which of these ors will we be versing, and will we be home or away? Well, the first out the hat is us, so we've got a home tie. Now, which of these would I prefer? Probably Red Diamonds or Osaka. I don't want Shimizu Osaka or Marinos. They are probably the next best two teams in the entire league. Frontale Antlers doesn't seem too bad, so actually, you know what? Frontale No, Frontale Antlers is probably the second one I would prefer, and then of course that Marinos one. But the one we get is Red Diamonds or Osaka. That is nice. Gamba Osaka or Urawa Red Diamonds. We've got the easiest potential draw, and Marinos Osaka gets Frontale or Antlers. So I imagine we are probably Gamba Osaka. This is probably the closest one, to be honest. I reckon we're probably going to get Gamba Osaka, is my guess. Marinos is probably going to come through that, and they will verse Frontale. Kashima Antlers have dropped off a bit. They're a very good side. They've got the ability to beat Frontale, but I think based off this season, Frontale should be beating Antlers in that one. But we'll find out if I am right when it comes to it. Now, when is this game? That is the question. Where does that slot into our fixture list? Do we already have it in? Or, in fact, let's just do it this way. We can check when the games shall be. So, I apologise for the background noise. Fixtures, if we just tag along. Okay, that is not helping me at all. So we shall find at a mystery. Oh, here we go. That fixes it for us. Wednesday the 6th, Sunday the 10th. So it's going to slot in here a bit after the Emperor's Cup game. So next episode, of course, like I said, we're versing Marinos in the league, which is a massive game. It's first versus second. As you can see, we now have a 6-point gap, so they can't catch us with a win, but they can narrow the gap on us. And following that, we also have the Beijing Hihong. In fact, I'm not sure if that works. No, it doesn't. I think it would give them the advantage if we tie on points, which would be a rather worrying problem to think about for the future, but there's that. And then of course there's the Beijing Hihong game, where we have a 2-0 lead after that amazing effort when we had 10 men. We got that early goal, and then we somehow managed to score 10v11. So we've got that massive game following the Marinos one. It's going to be a big episode coming up in the next one. And then I'm not sure where we're going next. I think we might do the Frontale game. If not, I might motor through to this Nagasaki one. We'll play through these 3 and then come back for Nagasaki. But I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.